One of our favorite things to do on the show, and one of the things we're hearing the most about from you, are the special stories that we get to do each week on these outstanding student athletes. I got the opportunity last week to sit down with Emily Cox from Oak Mountain and hear more about her story. Emily Cox is the definition of the word fighter. She has fought through not one, but two congenital heart defects. The first was discovered when Emily was born and required surgery to allow for necessary blood flow to her extremities. As Emily grew up, she began to understand the importance that staying active could have on her health. She got involved in gymnastics and ultimately found her place on the volleyball court at Oak Mountain High School. When she was 13 years old, Emily began experiencing symptoms of extreme fatigue. During a volleyball tournament, Emily actually blacked out on the court, which led to a diagnosis of a second congenital heart defect, this time blocking blood flow to the center of her heart. Emily needed surgery again, but this time she was told that she would never play sports again and that the recovery would take 1 year.
A major part of it is just my personality is resilient, and so I wanted to play volleyball and I wanted to be back with my friends at school in the fall, and I just didn't want this surgery to keep me down for a year. And I think part of it that helped me was my faith too. My faith is really important to me, and so I think that finding my strength through God really helped me.
Miraculously, in just 2 short months, Emily made a full recovery and was back with her team on the volleyball court.
And I just really pushed to be able to play my fall season. So I had surgery in May and then really wanted to be able to play in August, so I worked hard that summer to get back to where I could at least do a little bit and contribute a little bit.
But she couldn't sit around doing nothing during her recovery. Emily took the initiative to use that time to create and sell water bottles, which helped raise hundreds of dollars for the American Heart Association.
So right after I had surgery, I was pretty bored, pretty pent up, with a lot of energy, and so I made these water bottles. I think I called them Hope water bottles, and basically I just sold them and monogrammed them and would sell them to raise money for the Heart Association.
Emily continues to focus on school and volleyball, but she's also intensified her efforts to raise money and awareness for the American Heart Association.
I'm very involved with them. They do a lot of stroke and disease work, heart disease work, and so I helped plan the Heart Walk this year and just kind of was a spokesperson for them, basically, just telling my story.
Emily and her family were heavily involved with this year's Birmingham Heart Walk. Emily's dad served as the chairman and Emily as a spokesperson and an inspiration to many.
I had a congenital heart defect, which is pretty common. About 1 in 100 kids have it. But stroke and heart disease is even more common, which is the American Heart Association's really main focus. And so their focus is living healthier, more exercise and diet balance kind of lives. And so really just the awareness of living healthy, happy lives. And then, of course, funding is huge. I mean, they fund a lot of research and projects done just to help heart patients.
The future is bright for Emily as she continues to bring awareness to heart disease and draw support from her faith, family, and volleyball team.
I just think that your health conditions don't really define who you are. And so they're a major part of me and who I am, but I don't let them define me. I live my life, and I think everyone should do that as well.
Susan Carruthers, High School Sports Weekly. What an inspiring story about Emily. It was really a pleasure to get to sit down and talk to Emily and also talk to her coach, Grace Burgess. And Grace told me about the day that Emily came in and told her that she would never have to have another heart surgery. The doctors had told her that she was done and she was cleared to play, and they cried together. And it's really our joy to bring you these stories.